Well, as expected, a lot more cloudiness across the region today, especially east of the Blue Ridge. Areas farther to the west, a bit more sunshine. Here's the sunrise shot this morning captured by Warren Fault there in Jolly View. Temperatures ranged anywhere from the upper 40s to low 50s this morning. And always neat to see a hummingbird. And this time of year, they're making their migration to Central and South America, so they're juicing up and they're moving. But this one's at rest, and Jim Carpenter captured a nice shot of that ruby-throated hummingbird. Here's a view as we look off towards Scott Stadium off to the south. You'll see that bank of cloudiness. Those clouds are still going to be with us here for a while, so we'll call it variable cloudiness here tonight, especially more so the farther east that you go. As far as temperatures, made it up to a high of 78 this afternoon. We're currently 76, easterly winds. Again, the air mass is moistened up a little bit because more cloud cover, but still quite comfortable. Currently in the Shenandoah Valley, 75. That also the high for the day. Northeasterly wind there. As we take a look at most readings, you can see most of us are in the low to mid 70s with few exceptions. And as we take a look at the satellite radar combination, you'll notice how the cloud bank is a lot more extensive near and east of I-95. It's been just a raw day, some occasional light rain, drizzle, north to northeasterly winds, and again, just socked in because of a coastal low offshore. Now, even this evening tonight, especially near and closer to the Route 15 corridor and points east, there could still be some maybe light drizzle or a brief shower. Temperatures here for the overnight, anywhere from the upper 40s to upper 50s across the region, pending that cloud cover variation. Temperatures tomorrow should be warmer area wide, upper 70s to lower 80s across the region here for our Thursday. That's a little bit more seasonable. And across central Virginia, we're going to see these numbers come up into the low 80s, taking us in and through the weekend. And that's a lot more seasonable for this time of year. Now, as we take a look at the setup, I mentioned that we have high pressure to our north, but offshore, the front that came through over the weekend is stalled. And there's a developing low now. It's matured and it's off the Delmarva Peninsula. So the combination of that low with a counterclockwise flow, bringing in an easterly wind, and the high pressure to the north bringing in an easterly component to the wind is an onshore flow. And so that keeps things cool, a bit unsettled, especially this time around closer toward the coast. And you can see how the temperatures are held down farther east that you go, much warmer out west, and we're kind of sandwiched in between. So as you take a look at Futurecast, again for the overnight, we'll call it variably cloudy, still cool or chilly in the morning, upper 40s to upper 50s, and then tomorrow afternoon either side of 80, so pleasant. And we'll start Friday morning down in the 50s, that's below average, and afternoon highs once again either side of 80. Today does mark the climatological, based on 30-year averages, the peak of the Atlantic hurricane season. But basically from mid-August to mid-October, that's the prime time months. Right now in the Atlantic Basin, it's pretty quiet. There's been a lot of wind shear, dry air, but things can change quickly. And last year, we had two major hurricanes that formed well after September the 10th. That was Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. Temperatures here for tonight, upper 40s to upper 50s. There's a look at the Michael and Son 7-day forecast. The dry stretch continues. As we move into the weekend, it'll turn much warmer. Sunday will be the warmest day ahead of the next front that unfortunately comes through dry, but not a whole lot of change of the air mass behind it. Still in the 80s into next week.
All right, Eric, thank you.
And a check